Welcome Libras, I'm Kiki. We're now in the Akashic Records library, so let's see what books want to reach out to you, me, masculine, feminine, sun, moon, and rising sign for mid-August to September. Okay. 4 fire, Ace of water, 9 of air. The character is definitely starting off first as fire. You got some connections you're definitely building stronger. You have the opportunity to put this forward movement of connecting 4 concepts of who you are into action, or for people that you want to connect to come complete in a circle. Well, yes, it's a square, but this circle is you. You are the spirit. You are the light that can connect 4 people together. It's as if you are not there, Libras, the 4 other people would have left. It's something about you that makes people want to come together. And now you have that opportunity to witness it. You have the Ace of Cups right next to you. You had to go within. You had to go to the water. Deep within yourself. Swim deep within the water of emotions to find who you are as an individual, who you are as a self, who you are as a person, and that your self-esteem is not half empty or half full. In fact, your self-esteem is completely full. I know what people are thinking. Okay, spirit guides and ancestors, God, Gaia. It's like saying, are you full of yourself? No, but if you are full of yourself, how could you not? Whatever you had to put attention to and attend to, when it comes to yourself, you did it 100%. This is why when people come your way, and if we had to show our self-esteem in a cup to see and say, what if a person had a cup half full? That means that esteem is full, but do they feel like their self-esteem is completely full? Maybe not. If another person came with their cup half empty, to me it's still full, but to another person, would that mean that their esteem, or who they are, how they build their confidence, is complete but not all the way complete? With Libra, the only way we can know is through you. It's like your confidence, your courage, who you are as a character is complete. That's what explains why a lot of people want to come around you, because you help them to, maybe you're helping them to see that they are a complete cup, that they are a complete wand in themselves. Yes, we see 4, but if we look closely, we see 4 individual wands. One is taking action through their passion. Maybe another person is taking action through the way they communicate. Maybe another one is taking action in the way, or they appear attractive, or they know their action is based on their attraction. It's like each one has characteristics, but as a complete character, they're not sure. That's where you come in to show them how to become a complete character. How to become courage in a complete sense, where their self-esteem is complete. Maybe you're teaching 4 people, Libras, how to bring out their complete self-esteem. A lot of people around you are expecting the worst. Again, you have the option to witness and work on this. Yet, you may be facing, or this character is facing, people, even when they come around this character that brings them all together, this 4 fire that brings all individuals together, the people that's coming to you, or to the character Libra, it's maybe nagging. Like, oh, you know who you are is complete. Oh, I don't feel complete. Oh, I don't think I am worth it, or I'm not sure if that is really me that you're describing. Libra, they don't know you. They don't know that the character that, and this is an air sign, that the even though it's an element, the energy is coming off as a Sagittarius. They're the starters, but they're philosophers. They won't make a philosophy if it's not true. It had to be practiced for a philosopher to make up a philosophy. Well, that's what they're thinking. Let's see why they thinking like that. Because Libra, you are a complete package. Your self-esteem is advanced. It evolved, but it's based on your actions you put into it, Libra. Woo! Okay. Let me put that away because 3 came out. But let's see what those 3 were or are. Wow. 8 of Pentacles. So you may be helping people, Libras, on how to present themselves, or when it comes to pursuing, how to be prepared and present. So what if you're connecting 4 people to each other? Again, blind dating, or creating a scene where 2 people can actually get to know each other. So imagine it's like double dating. It's a couple and these 2 people are a couple. Or if this is individual to individual, how to get 2 people to pursue each other, or when they do pursue each other, how to understand the principles behind it, or how to understand the way they present the pursuing can appear to look passive. Like when we pursue, does it look like we're pursuing, or does it look like it's being passive? The world needs your advice on this. When you give advice, people are going to see the King of Pentacles, or they're going to see the King within themselves. Whether it's a feminine or masculine watching, all genders are here in the library. But Libras, when it comes to pursuing, yes, we know how to pursue, but do we? You're starting to see that when people come to you, it's usually around advice or navigation on how to not expect the worst in another person, or how to not see self-fulfilling prophecies. Again, that self-esteem too. Not to expect the worst in others. In order for them to not expect the worst from others, they have, in a way, it's like seeing the worst in themselves first. It's like, how can I expect the worst in another if... that's a good question. When have I seen the worst of myself? I can say, as Kiki in the library reading this particular book with you, when someone made a passive gesture, a beautiful rose, I might have expected, oh, are they just doing this because they got to say sorry to me? Like, what did they do? Did they do something wrong? I was expecting the worst. But usually that came because I experienced having different people that I did want to connect to show me that same type of pursue. And rather than really give the person a chance, I just assume. And I learned from an air sign, assuming is like making an ass out of you and me. Most importantly, I'm making an ass out of myself for even, yes, thinking it, but not even having the opportunity, the ace of water, to say why I felt that way. Like if I gave this person why I might have thought their pursuit looks passive, maybe they would approach me in a different way then instead. But because I was so closed mouth and didn't want to speak, but hoped that my body language would show that I'm kind of getting irritated or passive myself, I don't even know if this person can read when somebody else is being passive. So Again, you're helping people. I had to learn the hard way. We're going to leave this up here because these three had to be very much important. So, let's see. Seven of Wands. Okay. So, it may be 4 people, or if again, to understand 4 people, we had to see 4 people within ourselves. We had to see 4 perspectives within ourselves. So understand whatever expecting the worst a person could bring our way, we already thought of it first. That's usually the case. It's like, how can I expect the worst? By painting scenarios of expecting the worst, so then you will know how to get out of them. But now it's come to a point where it's becoming a pattern with people, where we naturally expect the worst before we expect the good. But it's coming from experience. Meaning, when we say these type of statements, it's coming from a real place. We all have experienced this in some way, shape, or fashion. So, Seven of Wands. When Seven of Wands come up, it's, yes, you're defending what works, but you have to stand back on how you defend on what you say, or how do you defend on what truly works. So when a person, maybe these 4 individuals or the 4 of fire, had to experience a Seven of Wands situation where they have someone that they worked out with, and this person wanted to work out with them, but we're now seeing a physical 2 people. Beginning of the book, we only seen the person's element, energy, which is red. So they have passion and purpose, but how to pursue it and the plans that is needed, maybe they don't know yet. That's probably where they have always stopped. Passion, they present. Purpose, they present. When it's time to pursue, maybe they don't know. Or they do know, but again, we all have relationships, but what have we been exposed to learn different things, like pursuing? Maybe this person only knows the true beginning, like a novice only knows the beginning fundamentals of how to make something work. But how to make it more stabilized, that's where you come in, Libra. Ah, you do come in again, ace. You come in with the Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. So you help people come in with showing their principles can be put into practice. Because they do, I believe, both man and woman know how to pursue each other. But in what way do we pursue? How can we open up that discussion on ways we pursue each other as people? Whether it be just for a man and woman. What if I want to pursue a friend? How do I pursue a friend? What if I want to pursue something I want to do for a long time? What if I want to pursue how to present myself to another person? You are that person, Libra. You're going to be a beautiful advisor, or you give great advice on how to get people to come together and to present their whole cup. Their whole cup. Maybe at times, we like a slice of pizza. We only do a slice. I could buy a pie for myself and then give you a slice. Now, is that fair? No. By ratio, 1 to a whole pie doesn't look fair. However, it's that slice I gave to you. It's like, yes, as people, we give a piece of ourselves to another for them to understand the whole puzzle or the whole pie. It's like giving a piece to a puzzle. When they put the whole puzzle or the pieces together, it becomes a whole. Now we see that these pieces to this puzzle was the pentacle all along with a heart in it. How would I have known if I didn't have someone to show me what each piece really means? What practice must I have or must I show to get the next piece to the puzzle? Sometimes we need help on getting the next piece to the puzzle, Libra. It took me that long to figure that one out. Come on now. I'm a Taurus. Come on. That's not all the elements in me, but the Taurus side comes out the strongest. Or I believe the water, because I like to go deep. So I take my time. So that's another thing in the Akashic Records library with you, Libra. The reason why I'm so choppy with my language or I take so long is because you are important to me. I may not see you, you may not see me. But the moment we came in this Akashic Records library, you are special to me. You are significant to me. Like anyone in my real life outside of this video, I do the same thing for them. If they were here right now, they probably laugh and say, yeah, Kiki, really Kiana, as she speaks like this. This is not just for video sake. I mean, I can talk another language, you know, either educational street or work-related language. But with you, I really want to show my vulnerability. And that's the side I usually do not show. So, from you helping us how to navigate on how our self-esteem is the whole cup and not half the cup or half empty, it is completely full, you become the empress. What if that was how you build your empire? You are an empress, so that meant before you could advise somebody, you already had to experience all these scenarios in your life. My God, goddess. That meant every advice that you have given is because you have actually experienced every advice you give. So if someone comes to you and they expect the words and self-fulfilling, you understand that because those are the same things you spoke to yourself at one point. But you knew how to solve that speaking, that negative self-talk. You replaced that negative self-talk with positive self-talk, with new self-talk. Woo! Now this is your energy. When I speak in different volumes or different ways, it's myself in it with you. But I'm being open to feeling your energy. That's again, I'm becoming vulnerable to feel your energy at the same time as mine and with others. And you will get justice for this. 8 of Fire. Wow. Events are moving fast. Whenever you get a chance, Libras, look at Pisces. And you know how to unravel the ego. So let's see how this plays a part. Masculine, feminine, cross-watcher. We don't do genders here. I can, and sometimes I do this for it to become a little clearer. So if I had to do this by gender base, if we really look at it, we see 2 people here. One is the part of you that people do not see, and the other part is the ones that people do see. The part that you know of yourself, besides the fire, is water. So you definitely know how to focus and put in the work. But now we're seeing that your focus comes from the things that you see forever in, or that you see the future in. The reason why you work on it is because you care about the people you're with. You by yourself, you care about you. You know who you are. You know your worth. You know that when you work on yourself, it shows the worthiness of you. This is why when you walk out, yes, you may appear as if you're only showing a part of yourself, but that's not really true. You're showing the whole essence of who you are. It's this one essential part that you will not give to just anybody. I understand that. For me to even open up that I'm being vulnerable, and to what extent I can go deep like the waters, like you, Libra. But it's to what level people can handle too. You're also looking at the level in which people can handle their ego to guide them on showing them that in order for you to have an ego, you will already have to have a full self-esteem. How can a person have an ego and an empty cup? We can, but Libras, you also saw the other side of that too. For example, I'm in the Akashic Records library with you. When I show a piece of myself, it's only because I'm a little nervous of if I was to show my whole self, would people accept me or reject me? So I already had a half empty, half full cup of my character. So if I had to take off the mask, which is who I am, what makes me special in the first place, then not only do I have my mask, which is a bonus, but me as the person is what I'm really covering up. It's not the mask. A lot of times we think the mask is hiding us. No, we're having the mask this disguise who we truly are. When we have a mask on, can I see you completely? No, I can only see a part of you. So when I had to unlock my mask and show that I love to do tarot yesterday, this is why I was mentioning to Cancer, everything that I do here, I do in my actual life. Outside of Akashic Records Library, and this is the reason why when choosing a title for tarot, Keykeys.Doorway or the Akashic Records Library, in my reality or in my real life, I worked as a librarian. I worked in Mid-Manhattan Library in New York. I worked at 92nd Street Y Library in New York. I don't work them anymore. These are when I was younger. I still love books. So this is why in this channel or in this dimension, we are in the Akashic Records Library because my love for books. Did I have to tell you that? No. Did I feel it was essential for you to know that part of me? Yes, because when I went outside yesterday to read, these are my books to read. How the outside world will look at it is tarot reading. So, yes, I might have got people expecting the words like, oh, here this person comes with some tarot cards. First of all, how did they know that I was having tarot cards? How do they know this was not playing cards? So I could have expected, I did expect the worst because again, when looking at the books outwardly, these are tarot cards. Yeah, we know by the physical approach or the appearance of them. Yet when explaining it to strangers that I never met, to actually 4 people I've never met, and they all had their own purpose and their own principles to tarot cards, to get them to break out of that concept was exactly what I explained. Oh, yes, I read tarot cards as books. And they said, well, can you explain it? Well, I use it to help me to understand how to connect to others. It was like, what do you mean by that? It's like, right now we're completely strangers. All of us, all 4 of us, or all 5 of us, if I include myself, like you, Libra, as that light. We are all strangers communicating right now. You see something that is considered taboo. It's like, yeah, tarot cards, we heard were forbidden. I said, okay. But did you know in the 13th or 14th century that these were our first books? It's like, no, I didn't. I said, you can actually research when did we have tarot cards as books, and they will show you in what century. They didn't call it tarot cards. They actually called it books. The only people that could read were kings and queens, really clergymen. But the masses, the regular people like you and I, we didn't have that knowledge of reading, not unless we went to church or became a monk or a nun or a choir girl, well, a choir boy, because even at that time, it was only boys that can have the opportunity to read if they connected to the church. They said, oh, I didn't think like that. I said, well, let's go back to what you were really asking. The reason why I love, this is what I love, is reading tarot. I use the energy to help me to connect to another so I don't feel scared. I had my niece, I was babysitting my niece yesterday. And just like her, like anybody, we get nervous to approach another person. Another stranger approaching another stranger. Oh my God. So I said, how can I break the ice with her? So I just picked a color, and I just didn't pick any color, but I picked who she was as her personality. And say, based on her appearance, meaning she had on braids. I said, look to girls that have braids in their hair and talk to them. Now, she's usually scared to talk to girls. She likes more boys because she's like me. We're a tomboy. Even like my daughter. My daughter's more feminine, but she knows how to tap into her tomboy nature. She did that, and guess what? She started playing with not just the girls that had braids in their hair, but even boys and other kids, different ages. But it started from picking something that is a common to present. So for me, I didn't have anything to really present to for adults about taboo. But what I did present is one key factor. Isn't it hard for people to connect to another person? At first, they was like, no, it's not. It's easy. I'm like, we say that now because we're older. But let's think back, real back to the time. I mean, if you think about your job or how y'all became friends, was y'all friends at first? And it was like, no. I said, how did y'all introduce each other? There's like, actually, that was interesting. We actually did exactly what you just said. We tried to find something in common to present to each other, and that's how we became close. I said, that's why I did what I'm doing now when it comes to tarot. That helped me to understand that. They said, wow. So they made them interested to ask more questions and sit at my table with me because I was alone on the table by myself. Kids truly come up to me a lot more than the adults. But when the adults see me with the cards out or the books out, they became a little nervous. So, what it is to say is, when people are around you, you're showing them how to break out of their shell. A lot of events are going to start moving fast for you. You are building an empire. You are seen as the empress. If we had to look at it as masculine and feminine, or man and woman, masculine or feminine, you are an empress. Whenever, from the moment you watch this on, people are going to see you as an empress. That's who you are. Libras, cross watchers, moon, sun, ascended. Whenever you watch this, you are an empress. You are building an empire right now. What is your mind, body of who you are, and the soul? They usually say Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, right? For me, I feel Father or Mother for mind. Mother, what does your mind say? Father, what does your heart want you to face or really feel free to be? And soul, which is your gut, guides you on. All three of these, your mind, your heart, and your gut. When they speak, they're going to speak simultaneously, but they're going to say the same thing. That's how you know to just jump on it. One thing about an empress is they know what is an empress to you. Become that, because you are that already. It's just now you're going to have things in your physical world. The moment you step out this Akashic Records library to show you why being an empress is essential to you. Because you are one. But showing yourself would mean that the outside world will challenge or present something where you would have to show your empress side of who you are. Again, it's going to be either another person, place, or thing that's going to present itself to you where you will understand why being an empress and showing that empress side of yourself is so essential, but it's essential for others to see it and witness it. So when it's time to work on things, people understand what place do they really place themselves. Masculine. You are justice. You hold the sword of truth. You know how to take your time. Taking your time is your feminine energy, but taking action in it is your masculine energy. You know how to balance both your masculine and your feminine. We're now in 2019. To say that you're just a man and only a man and you just think like a man, that really, can we really say that anymore? No. We can, but how does it really move energetically when we think like that? That's like a feminine thinking she's just a feminine. We're both. How were we born? How are we born? By a man and a woman. Yes, your gender as a appearance sake, is masculine. But how you hold the scale of truth, it requires you to tap into your feminine energy as well. The way I can say this is the way you talk is masculine. I can't talk like a man. I can try, but it just sounds weird. But I can try. I can't deepen my voice, but the way I sound. Right now, I am a woman. But how I describe myself is an empress. You can hear the sound change. It still sounds soft, but it has a hint of aggression, like only a man would do, right? So you know that, yes, you are a man, but you know how to tap into your feminine nature. You have a mother. You have sisters and brothers and cousins and aunties and grandmas in them. So you know that in order for you to know this, are you surrounded by females? Yes. So then you know how to tap into your feminine side. You're just a man in delivering it. But we're attracted to the energy that feels safe, which is the feminine energy. Yes, you are the man. You are the man. However, or yet, when females come to you, we're feeling also the feminine energy from you, which is, yes, you're a protector, but you pamper, or you make the person that you're protected feel pampered. That meant that you knew both. You know both. So now, understanding that, you know how to go forward. So let's see the last books that want to come out. The moon. Look at that. You know what, Libra, cross-watcher, you know the actions or the way you answer, the way you look at yourself, being a complete cup. You have, your characteristics are complete. Your courage is complete. How you charge forward is complete. It took for you to tap into the moon. When we look at the moon is at night. The moon is the part where people do not see. You know how to bring that part out to the surface, or you have the opportunity to see why people may expect the worst at times. Again, intuitively knowing, when have you ever experienced that before? Four of water, figuring out how to connect people together. You already, again, Libras, cross-watcher, you know that your cup, who you are as a character, is complete. Your courage, your self-esteem, how you care for yourself is complete. Now figuring out how to get that or show that side to others may be what you're trying to think about. But do not worry. You're careful and considerate on how you connect people. Good business decisions, giving to those less fortunate. Maybe the people that are coming to you may not be able to either afford, or they can't afford it, but it may not be the way it's needed. For example, it's hard for me to price how to read tarot or to do a personal reading. It's always hard for me. Why? Because I care about people's pockets. Y'all have to earn your money. Once you leave the Akashic Records, you go to work. You had to spend money to get to work. You had to spend money on yourself. You had to spend money on your family, when you get home, or on your apartment where you live at. Then you had to spend money on yourself. And now here I come with something very essential to use. That can be that can not only help you in this love, but it can help you in every aspect of your life. I get nervous or kind of cautious on how to present charging. That's one thing I still have an issue with, is how to charge something you love to do. But I don't want no one to rip off what I am or steal, because I know what it feels like to have things that I love, that I pursue, be stolen from me. And that's another thing that I help people on, to not have the things that they love be stolen from them. So if they have a project or things that they need, I show them the right steps, so that way no one can take their skills without paying them, or no one can take their advice without addressing how and who they got the advice from. I was just giving an example, but again, how to charge. Looking at, again, probably where we live. I live in Harlem. So compared to two concepts, do I live in an urban or suburban? If I say I live in Harlem, that probably will give me a clue on how to charge. I don't know. But no matter what, events are moving fast, because people are going to need your services, and they're going to see that your explanation is exactly what they're looking for. So, delays are over. Many things are happening at once. Why? Because, again, when people want to work on things or want to work on themselves, they may try to stop themselves. Or they see who they are as a complete package, but they're unsure. That's where you as the hermit come in to light, that spiritual teacher, to light the way for people, especially when it comes to how they look at their ego. Do they even, we have a term for ego, could be many things, but it's how we use it and how we truly see it kind of shows the way we're going to present it, control it, care for it, or correct it. If this reading of books resonate with you, press the like button, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna need some time to get more Akashic Records books. Like I mentioned, when I do readings, sometimes I can do it short or long, but mainly I'm trying to figure out how to connect where it doesn't feel choppy anymore. But I only do this because this is a part of my personality. When I speak like this in certain ways, I'm like this in my real world. So who you getting in this library is exactly who I am outside the library. You just getting a little bit more and more of me every time. But now I have to be cautious and careful, because when it comes to the compensation, this is my life. This is what I love to do. This is what I actually do every day. Do I get coins for it? Not all the time. So now if I had to, and it's not if, now thinking like an empress, I cannot allow that to happen anymore. I cannot just keep giving of myself and not get anything back. You know how that is. You know how that feels to give. You know how that feels to give what you love every day, and not getting reimbursed back or compensated back or cared for back. That's like, imagine us going, this is my work actually, but imagine when you go to work as a person, you did everything you supposed to do. You made sure that the company gets the sales, or the business that you're working for gets the sales. But when it's time to pay you, they only give you partial of the money. Can you take partial of that money to survive? No. Can you come to your boss and correct them on that? You may be cautious about that, but look back on how much energy did you give? Did you skip a day? Did you call out? No. So how can a person not give you a complete check? Or even if this is in regards to a friend, say you as a friend, in order for a person to know if they're really your friend, they have to give a part of themselves that they would not give to anybody else. When you show that part of yourself that you would not give to anybody else to a friend, and they dismiss it or pass it along to somebody else, like literally tell your business of who you are to somebody else, and that person tells you about it, doesn't that feel like somebody cheated on you, like somebody just took who you are and just played with it? That's something we can't do anymore, because now we got empires. Now we are the empress, and we had to think like one. So we will meet again, and like, share, and subscribe. Please press the bell button when meeting again, because I'm gonna need some time to get more Akashic Records library books. That means I had to go through some things, and you're gonna go through some things, and when we come back, we'll have a more complete volumes to add to the library. But most importantly, you may not see me in September, but I will be coming back